And but what I found about him is that in playing his keyboard, he had a very unique style. He alone could play that style. And I asked him one time, Fitzroy, so he doesn't touch a whole note, because really, seeing the guy play, the man does play some kind of long stuff, and scales. He is very adept with the scales. And you'd never hear Fitzroy touch a whole note, One time he told me, "Oh, but Jackson, if you touch a whole note, that is just an accidental, man. That's part of the music." I forgot that, Because I see him playing some solos and so on. And he has a unique touch, a unique style. No other keyboard player. That's why he was hired by many persons in different bands in the French Antilles to play on their album, because he had a very unique touch and special touch. And he said basically from Osibisa, he has a soulful experience with his instrument, And so this is a guy that I just find in Dominica, and me and I was just talking about it before, that we never really consider people until those times. It's just unfortunate. I was happy that I spent some time with him, and I told him how much I respected what he does, and so on, because I had long conversations about that. And it's not sufficient only when people die that we say those things, and we really need to start considering our people in Dominica and what the contribution they make, you know what I mean? The King dies is here for us today, you never be every day. I mean, the song says it in the Calypso, the ground that we're walking on will one day be our roof. And everybody have to experience that. So I'm really happy to be part of that experience and share some of my knowledge about the man Fitzroy Williams, basically. The Boys and Them.
Yeah,
I knew him just playing in the Boys and Them. I mean, I knew him personally, but Fitzroy, I'm sorry, the vocalist was again Hosford lived close to me. He had a certain time in Goodwill, and basically I know about that experience with Boys and Them. And a couple of times I used to come down when they had Voltage 4 just in Greens Lane, and I used to hear guys practicing and so forth, and Fitzroy doing this thing. That time Starret Fraswa used to be wrong, and so on, the blind Starret Fraswa, and
from
so on.
Gaylord's fame.
From Gaylord's fame, yes, for sure. And Fitzroy has always been that type of guy. And I heard one or two persons mention about his casualness. He had a casualness about him.
True.
So he wasn't kind of a jacket and tie guy. Very casual, and that is true, right? That is just Fitzroy.
Yeah, since he's outfitting him well.
Yes, he cool.
Do we have any of our guys on online yet, Mix?
Yeah.
Okay, we seem to be having some internet issues. We are
Okay.
trying to hook up with Anthony Gussie.
Yeah,
And
that-
also
that-
Vivian
that's right
Wallace.
in La Réunion.
Yeah.
Anthony Gussie is president in La Réunion, and also Vivian Wallace, who also played and one of the creators
Of
of Cadence Slip. So, how far is that book, Ian Jackson?
Yes. The book basically, all the information is basically down on tape, and I've started some stuff because my foresight was to bring out the book in for the Creole Festival. And I think that would be a fitting thing for Fitzroy Williams. And as I spoke to you about it, I'm trying to collaborate, as I said, with you, because on the French side, the Creole side, I think it should be written also in French, so that the French people get an understanding of what is happening with the guys, so we could share that situation. So the idea is to bring it all that time, because I was working on another project at that time when he checked me, and so that project is due for the summer. Coming out for the summer, that book is coming out for the summer. So his book is scheduled to come out for November, to coincide with November, which would be a very appropriate time when he normally played. By the way, just to share some information, Maddox, he told me that when he was a young boy, and just a sneak peek into the book, he said when he was a young boy, he loved football, but he found that when he was playing football in his teens, he found to himself that he used to maybe get more tired than his other friends, and so he said how he probably had a difficulty with his breathing from very, very young, but never took notice of it. He did tell me that, and as such, things like that will be exposed about his life and his youth and so on. So I trust that people really patronize, because this book is not just going to be a project. It's not about making money, because I didn't have any intention of that. But basically, I hope people really can patronize the book. And if they have any even photos of Fitzroy Williams to share, that they could check me out or check you out, Wadix, I'm sure he passes it along to me, that you can make it happen. So
I think Gordon also.
Yeah, Gordon. I spoke to him. Yes, I spoke to Gordon yesterday.
For
and
some of those photographs.
Right, and he said he'll send some stuff for me. But yeah, this guy was really a genius, and a Caribbean genius, a French Creole genius, and we should really pay homage to this gentleman. He really did a lot for all music in Dominica.
King Dice, you also was chosen at the Cadence Slips of Tribute Festival.
True.
To actually do the lead vocals. And by the way, it was a special tribute Creole Heartbeat alongside If Gordon Henderson actually produced at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium in 2022. And what we did is we actually honored Midnight Groovers the Friday, Jeff Cho the late on the Saturday, and Fitzroy Williams on the Sunday. And we wanted to do that because of the work that these guys, did for Dominica, bringing the name of Dominica to the four corners of the globe. So we wanted to do something special. And seeing that the Calypso genre is, whether we like it or not, the foundation of the World Creole Music Festival, and gives the Creole Festival the if we never had a Calypso, possibly we would never have the authenticity to tell the world that we are having or hosting a World Creole Music Festival. So what we did is we decided that this first edition we would have celebrated with the Midnight Groovers as the kings of Calypso. Jeff Joe, we also know him as possibly next to Breaker and maybe Super L, the finest. In terms frontman, yeah, man. In terms of flamboyance, in terms of stage antics, possibly the finest Dominic. We have the King Dice with Kaiso.
Yes.
So maybe that is the reason I think Fitzroy decided he wanted to choose Dice, because we gave him adequate latitude to decide how he wanted that concert to be. And there was a feeling amongst us that possibly that may have been his last concert. And eventually it was his last concert. You were chosen, Dice, to actually to practice and to learn lots of the songs. What was the experience like to learn the songs and then to actually practice with Fitzroy Williams and the team for that special festival?
Yeah, man. Well, it's an experience I'll never forget, for sure, and I will always cherish in my memory. Because first of all, learning it. Well, it's Creole and Creole in my blood too. Must have had Creole more, so it comes a little easier. And the song, well, I already Calypso, you have to learn the song, so what to sing. So learning the songs is something you just have to just give your focus to and conquer it. But the practice sessions, man, it was just, it was more than learning the song, Yeah, it had a vibe that was, you would be happy to be part of. Yeah, I was just happy to be part of that vibes there, and that happening right now, and it's me that doing it, and Fitzroy and his partners, I always have to call Birdman on the vibes,
That's Andrew Bell on the Bird.
Andrew Bell, yeah, I would do his government name, but
No, but because we mentioning him because he's also a legend.
Yeah, man,
and
legend.
Those who remember Below Men, and even he also played with Milestones from Portsmouth, his original from Portsmouth.
And you recently, I keep seeing some Facebook stuff where he was in some cowboy band in Canada, reggae cowboys, and moving all over the place, man.
Yes.
And you see, these representations of Dominica have class. It have something to talk about, to tell your children about. I big up to every other aspect of representation, but that one there, those there, you cannot throw these things away. You cannot, that book is a special thing because them things there you need our society to know these things, because it's like I would always call it the roots of the tree. You cannot cut that off. The tree will fall, no matter how nice the leaves looking and the and the fruit it bearing, that beautiful. If you cut them roots, I telling you that tree will fall. Yeah. Because that is one of the reasons. Things like Queen Show and everything, because they have their generation every time. They're making their own people, But certain things. People will get older, you'd have passing like our boy Fitzroy. And you need to continue it, and I think one of the ways to continue it is to uphold, to respect and to honor the good stuff where our music is concerned, no matter where it's going right now. But you see where it was, the start of it, like Fitzroy and them. I mean, them guys just took their guitar and go to Guadeloupe and represented Dominica in a classy and professional manner without nobody was paying them to do it. Nobody asked them to do it. They did it on their own as patriotic Dominicans.
But it's important to note that, when come for the musical aspect, which was like the musical leader, but when come for the organization, when come
Gordon.
for, the leader of the band, putting everything in order, getting the various contractual arrangements. As a matter of fact, Gordon was already performing with Lee Viking. And Lee Viking came to Dominica. And when they came to Dominica, he met with Fitzroy, and then that is when he returned, he told Fitzroy that he ready to do his own vibes. And that is when, Fitzroy actually came back to Dominica to recruit some of the finest musicians available on Island. Vivian Wallace, Oliver Cruikshank, the late, and you go to Julie Morilaw and those guys. And they created a genre. Ian Jackson, as a columnist, as one who has been writing about music and culture of Dominica, how important, because I seem to feel that we are not focused on the importance of Dominica's first international genre. We all know there was the ska, there was the soul, we also had the Motown days, we also had a little spooge in between those days, and we had the calypso, Bajan spooge, and we had the calypso. But here comes a Dominican group now, fusing the same calypso, and there was also the compa. We also remember the compa. And here comes a Dominican group now, fusing calypso with Haitian compa, and creating a genre, which, by the way, good morning to Philip Osford, that belongs to Dominica. How important is this for a small country like ours?
This is massively important to Nobadics, and I don't know if you can remember when I brought you to school before Jeff Joe died. I brought Jeff Joe also there, and Anthony Gossi.
Yes.
Because I see myself as a teacher, not just of a subject at school. I see myself as a teacher of life. And although at the time I was not teaching anything like HFLE or history, I just thought it's important. And just to say that right now, I'm in my final years of teaching. And when Fitzroy died, I went to my classroom and I told the guys about Fitzroy Williams. And nobody knew in the class. You wouldn't believe it. Nobody knew who was Fitzroy Williams. And that's a failure on our educational system.
Yeah, man.
That's a failure on our education system.
Yeah, man.
I'll give you another scenario, and I'll paint another scenario for you as a columnist. That there's one time, a few years ago, I came into school in September, and guys normally go and buy the crest and buy, pins for their stuff. And so there's there hovering over the secretary. And there's a lady sitting down on the side, So when I came inside there, I came early to school, and I saw this confusion that was happening about crests and all kind of different things, paying school fees and whatever. I said, gentlemen, hold on a while. I said, do you know who's sitting down there? I said, but sir, what no, yeah, we see ladies and things. So it was Ophelia.
Wow.
Yeah.
They did not know.
Yeah.
So then I had to try and make them know who Ophelia is right there.
A problem.
And I said, I, Dominique, and that some students recognized that song. And that was how they knew.
Yes.
So we can really see, even as I told you, I have half an hour here, but I had to say that even as an educator and one who's writing a book, and I've been a columnist, and that's why I keep on doing it. Because when I started doing columnist activities on the papers for all those years, I was not paid for doing it. I just saw it as my responsibility. I mean, now they give me a little stipend, but I didn't really ask for anything. Because I saw there was a need, as an education, I see there's a need for telling our young people about those things.
Yeah, man.
In Guadeloupe, a young child must know about Joycelyn Bewa and what's the one about the Casa of the Jacob. Yeah. But we cannot know those people. So you have to know. These are institutions in our country, and you have to know them.
Importantly, as you said that, because I think Anthony Gossi, we're going to big him up in a while and Philip for this year. Before coming here, I spoke to Gordon, who told me all over the Francophone world, people are celebrating the life of Fitzroy. But in Dominica, absolutely nothing.
I tell you,
without you right now,
anything official.
Not, yes.
We don't love
the newspapers.
Yes.
All over, and he told me, man, it's amazing. As a matter of fact, he Gordon thinks that based on to parallel what is going on out there, Fitzroy deserves an official funeral.
Of course.
To parallel how the appreciation for this genius created by Dominicans, the way we can actually, his last days or the final remains is by affording him an official funeral. Philip Osford, you would have known Fitzroy from since the boys and them days. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Not only boys and them Wadix.
Tell us.
Fitzroy and myself go a long way.
Tell us.
We started from silver tones. Fitzroy used to play marimba or what you call xylophone. We used to play a lot of house parties. I was the singer, he used to sing. Then we had Chuxton Chalmers playing drums, Julie Marte guitar. So we started from there, playing house parties, and then that broke up. So then we went to bigger bands. I went to Shadows, Fitzroy went to Diamonds. We used to have picnics, moonlight picnics at Castaways on the beach.
Moonlight picnics.
Moonlight picnics, that dead.
Those things are dead.
With two big bands on the beach, competing against each other. Both of us have our fans, and let me tell you, Fitzroy was something else. Because when Fitzroy solo, as Fitzroy in a different world, you know, when he's behind his keyboard.
Yeah,
you understand?
So at what point you guys eventually formed the Boys and Them?
Okay, from the Boys and Them, from Shadows broke up, and then we had Los Caballeros.
You and Fitzroy again in Los Caballeros?
Fitzroy again in Los Caballeros.
And you and yourself?
I was the first person.
We're talking about what year has Philip?
Oh boy, I was in the 60s, early 70s.
Wow.
Whoa,
Yeah,
I wasn't even born yet.
Late 60s, early 70s.
Los Caballeros.
Well, before Gaylords and Breaker, I was the first person singing in a band.
No, let us give us big wigs. Let us, we have to give that a little something. The first man to ever sing, because prior to that, it is important to note, Philip Osford, what happened before that. It was just instrumentation.
The guitar used to play what the vocalist would do, or the trumpeter would take a solo.
So the first Dominican to sing
vocal
live in a band is Philip Osford. So we have that documented, Dr. Mix? Yes. And then I remember that album with the Boys and Them. There was a song I used to always love. I had the album, but through Maria, Phoenix.
By the time I get to Phoenix,
man, Phoenix.
Oh well, that's a competition because Gaylords, Breaker did it on Gaylords. Yes. So people used to compare the vocals on that
between you and Breaker.
Yeah.
But
then I was more a ballad man than Breaker. Breaker was, vibrant guy.
You're still a ballad man. That never changed.
That is my favorite.
But then that's a nice rivalry.
Yeah.
One with a ballad voice and one with a sensational.
Yes,
with a calypso background.
Yes, right.
And a flamboyance about him that is Breaker.
Okay, so then we formed Boys and Them. There was 5 of us. So Pembo, Patrick Pemberton. We all know him as the past Chief George of Calypso.
Yes. With DCP also. Yeah, DCP. With Swinging Stars also.
Gustav LaRock. Marcel Cruikshank.
Maliwe.
Pass, yes. Myself. And there was one
and
more.
Then Fitzroy.
And Fitzroy. Fitzroy playing keyboard. Yeah.
Where you guys recorded that album?
In Trinidad. That's where we had no equipment.
A
pilot had a studio, and that was his
a pilot.
That was his pastime. He recorded Swinging Stars there, and I don't know if Gaylords recorded there, but Boys and Them recorded there. Yeah. Now, as I was coming, I was telling Miguel that Fitzroy said it, but everybody maybe have it wrong.
Jacko is exiting.
That hit song. Hit Me With Music. Fitzroy wrote that song for me.
Wow.
You understand? So before Gaylords had it, I was supposed to do that song on Boys and Them's second album. But as you know, he got in an accident on the Taru Cliff. And then Fitzroy was in hospital for a while. So during that time, Dennis Joseph went to him. And then they maybe talk about he joining, because there was no Boys and Them again. He joined in Gaylords. So he joined Gaylords, and that song...
Gaylords eventually recorded
that song,
Okay. And there was some issue with Bob Marley, and who actually took whose song. Bob Marley said it was his song.
But if you listen to those songs, they're two different songs.
Two different songs. Absolutely. And then from then on... Fitzroy now went to Gaylords, and then you moved to Swinging
Stars. Yes.
Swinging Teens or Swinging Teens?
No, Swinging Stars.
By that time they were the Stars.
That was I moved to Swinging 1972.
So it was Swinging Teens.
Long before they started as Swinging Teens.
And then into the mighty Swinging Stars. Let's see if we have Ras Dubber on the line.
Ras Dubber, my big brother.
Anthony Gossi.
Yeah, long time before.
Do we have Rasdoba?
Yes, my brother.
Hey, my brother from another mother. How are you in La Réunion?
La Réunion.
Well, yeah, in La Réunion, as you know, and wheresoever that you could be in this universe, there are certain things that you just cannot miss at all when it comes to victory. Because I would say not sadness, but victory. You know why, Wadix? Because right now you don't imagine it's now. My brother, Master Genius, it's there. You don't realize that? Like yesterday, like he was not there.
Yeah.
Couple days ago, he was not there in Dominica. He was not there. But he's there more than ever today. So I'm saying it's a victory.
Respect.
Because our life, our engagement for our culture, our nation, our children, our education, our progress comes from people like us. Arts and culture, sports and cinematographic, and especially the musicians, we had always been put aside for reasons that the world in generally had never recognized music for us like our work or a job. Everyone believes it's just a fun, a party. Yes, it is. There is joy, but there is education and engagement, necessary engagement for our life, for our island, especially our nature isle, Dominica, and all Dominicans, because we love all our people. Wadix.
Yes.
That's what our people should realize. We, the artists, actors, script writers, whatsoever, sports, we love our people.
True.
Do they love us?
Yeah. So you're asking the other question, does the people love the artists? That is the question you're asking. So Dominica, do you love the artist? And that's a question from Ras Doba.
But to what extent?
And to what extent? But Doba, you would have worked with Fitzroy Williams. You know, he was actually part of your band, part of your setup. You actually remix some of your songs with Black Affairs. Tell us about working with Fitzroy and the members.
Well, you know, personally, it's a pleasure to explain that, because when I know the brother Master Genius for the first time ever, is what Hosford was saying a while ago. All this history of boys and them and gaolers and whatsoever in Roseau at that time, I knew all of this. I was there, all like wooden stools, all the band, Naked Feet, all the guys at the time. I was in Roseau. I was not a musician. As a matter of fact, I was just a lover. I had said that many times before. I always appreciate my brothers, artists from Dominica. I always know, I always say, wow, we have a lot of great musicians, actors in DA all over in Dominica, Castle Bruce, Wesley, Grand Bay, everywhere, St. Joseph. We have a lot of good musicians, Wadix. So I was always a supporter to the fullest. I'm always. I respect all the actors, the genius. And this is important. But here comes, for the first time ever, I was lucky to see my brother Master Genius on stage. It was with the Gaylords Power Union in Windsor Park, Roseau, Dominica, for the first time ever. He was dressed all in black with a false hat. And when I saw this guy on the stage, I said, wow. Because me, I used to just listen to all what is coming, what they say, world music, international music. That's what we grow with. Soul, funky, whatsoever. You know, we grow with this. But when I saw Dominican keyboard player, organ like Jackson Precise, he have chosen this instrument as keyboards. And he had played up to the last moment, physically. But it's not finished. I would say, and then I was proud and happy to discover this genius. And then all the progress, all the attitudes of our music after here comes, the music being transformed, I've been to Guadeloupe in 1972. And when I was in Guadeloupe, Wadix, Dominicans had a foot already in Guadeloupe, very important. It was with this group from Portsmouth, they call My Stone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And and Mr. Henderson was a singer, as you said very well a while ago, of Vikings Guadeloupe, which I call the most cultural Caribbean development music in the Caribbean. That group was always a Caribbean mentality. They always want to have musicians from all parts of the Caribbean. That was Vikings Guadeloupe. That's the way they was always. So Mr. Henderson was one of the singers. And he wrote that song many people don't maybe know in Dominica. You maybe know what it's. Love is tender.
Yes,
if you remember.
yes. His first single.
Okay.
And that was a big song in Guadeloupe at the time.
Exactly. And to stay there, Guadeloupe, Martinique, and these Creole islands, our family, we have to give thanks always to this part of the Caribbean because they're the ones who bring all Dominicans, international actors, musicians. They're the ones who bring us there. They're the ones who had be our first consumers for our works, the first appreciation. They love to hear we speak patois. They always say they love our accent. This thing bring us through there. And they was there until they get something they call Casa. And I believe they come back to the reality. So Fitzroy William then, after this growth, and then I become a musician, one of the actors. I always say the last one that came here in Cada Slipso as a Dominican, the uncertain person. And then it happened that, well, I'm a believer, so I believe in what I'm doing to the last breath of my life. And this music, as you said very well, it is an original inspiration coming from the big brothers, Exile One, for sure, Cada Slipso music. Nowhere else I know can't play this rhythm, except in Lorena because I have students I taught how to play Cada Slipso, and maybe other places people can do the same like I do, because it's a music that been given, inspired for many reasons for our people, for people to understand every country need to have the power, and a country without the development of the culture in general, sports and whatsoever, is losing the power. So regardless to what fields and kind of culture that's in our cultures, we have to at least have a little respect to know there is certain culture in our cultures that's the leading culture, and we cannot destroy it. We have to make sure this is always frontline, because for reasons, this is the one that's been going out there for a couple of years, since more than 50 years, to expose a music that we know that come from the inspiration of our big brothers Dominicans, where as well the genius Fitzroy William, he is and he will be always, because Jano dead, and heroes never die, monuments don't die.
Respect, Doba. Just joining us, just hold on a while, because we'll talk about our days in Guaca. But then before that, we also have Vivian Wallace just joining us. Vivian, are you hearing us loud and clear?
Yeah, I'm hearing you loud and clear. You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You would have been part of that combination which actually created the synthesis of rhythmical patterns, Cada Slipso, as Gordon dubbed it. And even after, let's say, Cada Slipso actually, went down, the three of you actually carried the torch of Cada Slipso. Tell us about Fitzroy and relating to him, playing with him, traveling with him, the experience. What was it like?
Like Josh was saying, the man is genius. The thing his mind is so creative that anything he touches is gold. Dice was saying a while ago, he was the instrumentalist that brought most of the music Exile One created to the forefront. He would arrange, he would do everything that was necessary. You know, I don't know. To me, I'm missing a whole part of me now.
Wow.
50 years or more we've been together,
Wow.
and then life has to come to an end.
But
I'm
Vivian,
missing a big part of me.
Vivian, I mean, you guys, were on tour together. You were more than just musicians playing. You were
No, it's
more.
a family.
You were like brothers. You were like
It's a
a
family.
family. What sort of guy was Fitzroy Williams?
You know? Wow. There's not many words can explain. It's because we're like brothers. We eat together. We sleep in the same hotel. We travel together. We do everything for 50 years. So you can imagine this?
Yes.
He's like a brother to me.
Because he told me once that the connection between you three was just unique. Finally, you guys actually created something unique for Dominica, unique for the Creole world, the Francophone world, which you created a genre, which several offsprings came off, including soca, including zouk, including even bouillon that we now enjoying. When you reminisce 50 years ago to now, how are you feeling?
Sad, empty. Yeah,
And that's because of the loss of Fitzroy.
yeah, yeah. It's like there's a hole in me now that I don't know if I can replace that. It's like something empty, something left me. Just hearing that news on Sunday. The funny thing is, he wasn't well for a while. Someday it's going to happen, but you don't want it to happen. Eventually, all of us is going to happen. But it's just a whole wide open in me now. I'm like, okay, can't get your foot in. You don't know how to feel. I don't sleep since Sunday. You wake up 1,000 times. Yeah.
With all the hits you guys made from Jumbolo to Avai Puayen, Akiyaka, Fresh, what was it like for you guys, making, creating, doing something unique? How was it like? What was the experience like?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was something really joyful because we'd probably go into a rehearsal room with no music, and somewhere along the line, somebody gets an idea and somebody said, "Let's try this," and next thing you know, we have a song. Somebody would add his piece. I'll add my piece. Julie will add his piece. Gordon will say, "Okay, I'll get the words for this." And it's great. And nobody came, not an individual came and said, "This is my song. This is your song." It's one song.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so pretty. Just being together. You get ideas. You get stuff, and we create it and do it together. Yes.
And you miss that, and you will continue to miss that.
Oh yeah. I'll continue to miss that. That's legend. That's legend.
Do you think?
And then you saying a while ago, Dominicans never respected.
I was just about to ask you. Do you feel for what you have done for Dominica?
Playing music, it's not a game. You play music, it is a profession. It's not a game that we go out and have a good time and think, no, there's compensation. You got your copyright, you got this, you got a whole bunch of things that create music. The rest of the world sells music. We probably are the first to create and sell music massively and stuff. Then a whole bunch of other Dominican bands came along and did great too.
Do you feel that Dominica as a nation respects what you guys were able to achieve?
That's kind of shaky. Because sometimes you meet guys, I think I meet guys more in the Creole market, friend called Luke Martin and things, that appreciate more maybe than Dominica. Because Dominica, I think, likes to think of foreign music and compete and say it's better than thing like, this is okay. You see, Midnight Groove is an institution that's still around. You know, some people might say, "Oh, this band from Haiti better." There's no better in music. To me, Dominicans should love what Exile One Grammars, Black Affairs, Midnight Groovers, and everybody's doing. This is ours. Nobody else can do it better than us. It's ours.
Absolutely. We'll get back to you in a while, but let's go across to Philip Hosford and Dice. Philip, in what year was it again? According to my historical data, in 2007, Fitzroy Williams and you teamed up on an album. Tell us about that experience. Migs, I think Philip Hosford is down.
Okay.
In 2007, yes, according to my records there.
Yes. Fitzroy came to Dominica, and Fitzroy said, I actually came to Dominica for us to talk, because I want to produce an album for you, because we go from a long way. Then you have the voice, and you know I always liked your voice. So we got together. I told him what songs I wanted to do. He took everything, and he went to Martinique. He did France. Sorry, he did his thing. He did his thing, and then he sent on the music to Freddie, everything to Freddie. So all I had to do was to sing Freddie. Freddie sent it back, and then he got backups. We went to backup. He got everything. He produced the album. All I had to do was to get sponsors to clear it out and thing. So I have to say that was a gift to me, because all along I was trying to collect money to do that, and Fitzroy just came and said, boy, we go a long way. That is one thing I think I want to do for you. And he did it. You know what I mean? And just about a month, Fitzroy was there 3 weeks ago.
Earlier in January.
Yeah, I met Fitzroy.
Earlier in January.
Yeah, I was passing, and I didn't recognize Fitzroy because, you know, he cut the locks.
Got the locks.
So he said, Philip said, when I turned back, I said, but wait a while now. When I went to the window, he was with Cornell. Mm-hmm. Cornell was buying something for him. When I went, but it's Fitzroy. I said, but Fitzroy, you cut the locks. I would never make you out, you know. So Fitzroy told me, let me tell you, we talk and talk. Let me tell you, the album, I have to remix that album. I was never satisfied with the mix. And I find the mix is a great mix. You know what I mean? But we had another project to do, you know, but he fell, that when he fell sick, and he couldn't tell me, I can't do anything. I can't even touch the keyboard. Yeah.
Because that is the level of perfection.
From him, yes.
Even Cornell, who actually, you know, was taught by him, Cornell, the kind of strumming, the sound, and that's what makes a musician a special musician, when they can create a sound. You could actually hear Exile's sound, and that's why Kadas Calypso was so unique, you know. Different bands had a different sound, and we're talking about all Kadas. Bells had the sound, Gramax the sound, Bilomen the sound, Liquidize the sound, Groovers their own sound.
People don't realize.
Exile had the
what
sound.
What people don't realize? Swing is a split Kadas, you know. We had that album.
Grotobile.
Sponsored by Gordon.
One of the so say that again, because we want to
sponsored by Gordon, yeah.
Yes.
One of the stories that always amazed me.
Soul Tone, it was on the Soul Tone Orchestra.
Yeah.
Soul Tone label.
Soul Tone label, yes.
Yes, Dice, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was saying one of the stories that always amazed me about Kadas music is why, like, somebody would tell me, Dicey, it had a time on Newton there, by where it have ACS there. What all you call there? What it used to have a Jam City.
Harlem Jam City. Harlem Jam City.
Yeah, and they would say, Dicey.
Before that, Harlem Rock in 72.
And they would say, Dicey, I'm 20-something bands, you know.
That was the first Creole Festival.
No, that was Harlem Rock Festival. Yeah.
First festival.
Harlem Rock Festival.
Yeah. Just imagine a country having 20, and I've been to, let's say, Montserrat out because it was there. And we had a show there, and the guy said, man, we need a guitarist, and we have to send for one in Saint Martin. I said, you need a guitar. The country do have a guitarist. And you have a place like Dominica that have 21 bands.
Yeah,
so you should know the amount of musicians that in our country. You know, so music is so much part of our vibe. That's why I'm always saying that things like the Creole Festival, the name of it is Creole Festival. I mean, people like Ophelia, when we try and think of ways to solve problems, you know, instead of just talking about the problem, I believe people, because we need the youth. I mean, I can't believe there was Ophelia was sitting right there and the children did not know her. And then you tell me they did not know certain other people that is big in our music. So we really need the people that in charge of the musical vibes in Dominica to really acknowledge these people. When you see, like a Creole Festival, you know Ophelia cannot sing at the Creole Festival this time around, but you call her, you put a picture somewhere for the people to see. You do something where, the people that watching.
Interestingly, you should say that, Dice, because Signman, myself, and a few other brothers, we created something like a walk-in museum at the ferry terminal where we got some young people, the Whitey Kubuli Artists Association, to paint 18 portraits of some of our greats.
Wadik, that was so beautiful. You don't telling me about that, I take my picture of that already.
But you can't get another space, Wadik?
And we are looking for another spot. Cornell have an idea or has an idea as to where we can possibly do that. But we have been asking all around for an area. We have been looking all about. But then before that, I must say, the images of this went as far as Africa. The images went. When Gossi told me, this thing is all over the place. But the most beautiful thing is, while quite a bit of artists, including Fitzroy, was alive, they were able to see a country really bigging them up at a port of entry, and they must bring up Mr. Benoit Badwill for that particular. I remember Cole held his guitar, and Cole came and took a picture by the portrait. That's what you're looking for.
And as I was saying, I myself hoping I could be one of them too.
And that is what last night I heard Dice said that, Dr. Miggs.
And
I shivered. We did an interview last night, and when Dice told me, when he looked at those portraits, he himself kind of tell himself, I want to be part of those legends.
What?
And for our selfishness and for our kind of gutter kind of mindset, this guy's vandalized some of the portraits, including one of Mikel Henderson.
Because maybe you spoke about the boat.
And Wadex, you're not supposed to be looking for a place to put that. The whole country supposed to just give you a place to put the icons of our country. I mean, that is not a child can understand that. That is not no rocket science for you to love the icons of your country. It is not rocket science.
I went to Jamaica. And when you look at the perimeter of the Bob Marley area, man, see any child passing Dr.
You know what I'm saying?
Must ask a question.
Yes.
Who was this guy? And that is what we have to do. We have to continue to do that.
But where did we get that mentality?
I'm not sure. Like because it was never like that. It was never like that. But then Ras Doba, I want to get back to Ras Doba, because Ras Doba is doing something that we may need to take a lift from. You opened the Kadar Slipso School, Anthony Gassi, in La Réunion. Tell us about that.
Well, what it said before, I'd like to say something, because you see it's important when my brother King here dies. This is my Calypso King for all time after the Honorable King Sparrow.
and what before was Dover speak, I the first man to give me my card, sir.
And you know what he said a while ago about Kada Slipso?
Yes.
He always into these things. He always loved these things. For one reason, I love this brother so much that I attack him once with an influence of Kada Slipso and tell him, boss brother, you so like Kada Slipso, you should sing a Kada Slipso. And Waddix, he had given me that first advantage to do a Kada Slipso rhythm for him. Alidio. And that song, he did it on his own personal album. All Dominica liked that song. And then he did it again on the same wonderful album he did with my brother King Genius.
La Vie Sala. Right. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that part of it.
Exactly. Well, Dice is a Dominican. Without tripping you, Dice is, how to say this? People sing Dice on stage. He don't come on stage like a singer only. Like I heard someone speak about this. He's complete. He have this artistic attitude, and understanding. That's what making and will always make the difference. Because people come into your show, Addicts. If they come to your show and they know you so well, they love your songs. That's why they're going to move from the place to come and see you in concert. But you know what it means, a show? If these people who love you so much come to your show, pay to see you, they don't come to listen to your songs, they know your songs. They come and sing with you and they're expecting more. What you have more for us. That's what it means. So when you see people like King Jeff Joe, King Dice, well, I wouldn't put myself away, because I'm part of it. That's our attitude.
King
you
Dubba,
see, the
King
Queen
Dubba.
Sister Ophelia. You see, Ali Bird, when you see these people on stage, we don't just come and sing. We have something we bring, something different to give to our people. And that's the difference. That's what makes the difference. And that's what every living one need. Now, to come back about the reunion,
yes,
we Dominicans of a whole, with no exception, we have to take this into grantage. As a Dominican brother, proud to be, I never believed there was a place in the universe that was the next Dominican island for me because of Carter Slips to Music, our nature island investment by our big brothers, original Carter Slips to Music. These people over here, there is nearly 900,000 people living in this place I am, the Reunion. It's a big island, the biggest island of France, okay? And Waddix, these people that make Carter Sleep so part of the patrimony. Listen carefully to what I'm telling you. That's the most listening music in this area where I am. And these people love all music. Everything that's music, welcome. There will be always a public, a crowd, but they will still come back and tell you, that's all. Dominique, Exile One, Gramax, Midnight Groovers, Black Affairs, Ricky Dice, Best Combo, Ophelia. They will start giving you details, King Dice. And what is nice, after all these years, all these people will come and bring you the vinyls of all these groups, Black Machine, groups that maybe you forgot, Black Roots, Black Blood, all the groups, these people have all the vinyls, you know what I mean?
The records.
This is something very important. Yeah, and the next thing that Jackson and Dice said, without tripping you all, I said that many times before. If we don't have Epley, okay, chronicles, someone who is speaking about our existence, cultural, arts, sports, whatsoever, or what is good for our island to develop our island, but we'll always stay there. And the next important thing is time that our people should know. No one can do nothing alone. So we Dominicans, I have a problem with my people I love so much, and my only problem with my people, my brothers who are listening to me, it's dividing, we fall, and together we stand. And we have no compromise, no togetherness. We have no togetherness. If we are not together, we can never make it.
Never.
And just to continue, I would like to say also to the first man of my island, the nature island, blessed island by Jah, Jehovah, Rastafari, and the first lady. I would just like to pass this important message for them to make them know they are the father and the mother of I nation in the nature island. And a father and a mother have to think and treat all the children the same way. Make sure each and every one have a piece of bread to eat, as Jah did.
True.
So this is a very important thing. And Vivian Wallace, he had said the truth. You mustn't take these things as a joke. This is part of our culture, man. It's just like you tell me you're destroying all agriculture places so they can plant some food like they did in Wesley Village. So then we finish. It's just like when you destroy the road for a musician, an artist to go through. Well, Dice, where we passing, where we going through, how are we going to do, what are we going to be able to do to help our island? Nothing. And you must depend and always put in your mind that You all cannot exist without the artistic parts of our country. We need each other and we have to build each other. We have to be strong. We have to have a dialogue together. We have to understand each other. And the reason, not of a man, not of one home, but all the homes. All the homes don't bound to have the same people living. But the same people in another home with this home have to arrange themselves one way or the other to know that they need each other. And without each other, we'll be always like we are in our island. We lost so much.
Daba,
So
because of time,
is
Daba, because we are scheduled for another program, I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell our viewers and listeners, as a close brethren and somebody you have played with for several years, how would you like Dominica to remember Fitzroy Williams?
State funeral.
Well, as I
That's no Vivian. That's no Vivian. We coming to Vivian. Let's do that double answer, and then we go to Vivian, and then to Daisa and Philip. So how you would like
I played. We taught together.
So let's give us.
We taught together. He played on my album. He said one of my album, Espoir, is one of the best Carter Slipso album he had ever played. You know, with King Jumbo on the bass, my bassman forever. So Fitzroy William is a light to guide and bring forth children from the dark with our musical culture. That's for sure. Now, for our musical culture to follow, they still have to get to know and hear all the time the Dominican music and other monuments like Fitzroy William. So that means, as I said, our children and leaders, you know, monuments don't disappear. One way or the other, it will exist. So I believe Fitzroy William has played his part, as my brother Wallace said. We know he was healed for a long while. Many people didn't know after he came to Dominica, but we know that since in Paris. And we always praying and wishing he go better. We always trying to make sure that God bless him and protect him. And we always following, always happy to see him on and doing what he can do the best, play his organ. And he's worldwide respectful and known by many different countries and musicians of the universe. Not only Dominicans, I can tell you, a lot of people. So it's just something that I would say, like we have to say now, we have to be prepared because that's it. Our tribe is going physically. So if our people want to let us go like this, and only when we move, we come back right away for them because right now, Charlie is there more than ever. Because he's there so much that he didn't need to go to a next island to be cured and take care of no matter what, because he was right there. But now he's gone physically. Now he come back right away, completely. So Wadix, I want to thank you on all what good I know that have been done by our cultural musicians, legends, regardless to what field they are. And I respect that, to make them all know that we are on the same boat for developing Dominica Island. So we have to compromise, we have to come together, we have to respect each other, we have to do things together to survive. That maybe we can have many other people like Mr. Jackson who will write certain articles and books to maybe speak about the legend and make the people know they have something from now on to follow and discover. Know about our people is very important. Wadix, thanks a lot for this invitation. I thank you a lot.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother.
For each and every Dominican.
And God bless. Vivian, how would you?
All the time.
Yeah.
Vivian.
Yeah.
How would you like Dominica to remember your buddy, musician, partner, friend, you know, someone who has done so much for Dominica? How would you like Dominica to remember Fitzroy?
I honestly think I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they said they think Fitzroy deserves a state funeral. And I said, oh, great, that's a good idea, you know? Why not? who again deserves it. If we don't start giving it to the greatest, who's going to get it? It's all up to us to decide about it. Thing, the contributions which was made in his life. We should honor him with a state funeral. Simple, you know?
Yes, my brother. Thank you very much. That's Vivian Wallace, one of the creators of Cadence Slips of Music, alongside Fitzroy Williams and Gordon Henderson. I will leave Dice for the 10-time monarch for last. But Philip Osford, you have played with Fitzroy in several bands, to include the Boys and Them. He actually came back and gave you a gift of an album. How would you like to see Fitzroy Williams remembered?
Well, something more should be done so that the youth could know about Fitzroy, because all the musicians pass on now, still our age, it does seem the youth know about us. You know what I mean? Without going from music, football. I just say football.
Sports.
There's a lot of young guys don't know that I played football.
Goalkeeper.
Yes. I mean, I don't boast it, but one of the best.
He was a serious goalkeeper in the weeks.
Serious.
I go for a top team.
Yeah.
So I think the youth should know about those things. You know what I mean?
Well, you represented Dominica also.
Yes, I read Dominica. There's a joke, but I mean, I haven't got time to say that. I was on the stand watching Dominica play another team. So I was I didn't like what the goalkeeper was doing. I mean, I was a goalkeeper. So talking, a young guy tell me, boy, what you know about football is only thing you can sing. So somebody know about my football hero, get up and tell him, boy, you don't know what you're talking about. You sure shut up there.
It was between you and Bogoroy, right?
Yeah, Bogoroy,
You and
Bogoroy,
Bogoroy,
that George Carrington and
George
Ed,
Carrington.
and Gary Ed.
Yeah, Gary Ed. Gary Ed was a goalie to you, Dr. Biggs. Gary Ed.
These were the goalkeepers, yes.
Dice, how would you like to see your body
Well,
remembered in Dominica?
Well, I like all the suggestions, first of all, because Fitzroy is a light that need to be shined to take out people from the dark. I think if ministers that don't even do well at their job can get a state funeral, or prime ministers maybe just had one term or whatever and didn't do well can get a state funeral, or prime ministers that do bad and just because there was a prime minister, they can get a state funeral. What about somebody that did good, that started something that that have what happening right now happening? The bouillon that happening right now is because of the cadence that start, and the music that was before it. So you see somebody start something and then they follow it, and I think that's a great thing. And if that is so much of a great thing, it deserves a state funeral. And as Mr. Osford said, I believe Fitzroy need to be seen somewhere. Like the things that you had on the port.
Yeah, we were looking for a place.
On the port. And please, somebody that listening, don't let them look for a place. Because this is our people. It's time that we learn to love each other and be considerate to each other. Because without that, you don't go nowhere. Them niceness, they saying we're nice for foreigners there. Let us give that to each other now, please. Now, in doing that, I believe we need to see Fitzroy when we're passing on our vehicle somewhere, on some billboard or something, and with his name there. So the youth that coming up, my children and them, my little daughter can say, Daddy, who is that? And I can tell you who is that. But if you see it not in their face, then they'll never ask the question. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely, King Nice. That's what we have to say. Thank you, and we really want to thank all of you legends in your own way. King Dice, 10-time Calypso Monarch. We also heard from Philip Osford, the first ever vocalist in Dominica. We also had Ian Jackson, columnist for several years, Vivian Wallace, one of the creators of Cadence Calypso Music, and Anthony Gussie from Examples and also Black Affairs. We were scheduled to also hook up with Kiwi Thomas. We may do so on another because we're going to be doing these tributes throughout this week because we feel Fitzroy deserves that. Dominica, we have to do better about what we do for our people and people who have excelled, people with brilliance, people with exemplary behavior. We have to big them up in a massive way. From me, I would hope that the authorities can possibly at least consider, if not a state, but an official funeral for one who has created a genre for Dominica, if not a state, but at least an official funeral for the brother, for the work that he did. When you look at Facebook, Facebook is swamped with most of the 2 days musicians. At some point in time, Fitzroy influenced them. You heard the killer from Triple K that he actually looked at Fitzroy. You heard from Cornell, Fitzroy is his musical idol. Cornell himself is the creator with his brothers and Ra and the rest of a genre. I will let's leave with the last words. My last words today is to leave you ponder on Marcus Mosiah Garvey, a people without the knowledge of the history and culture is like a tree without roots. God bless you, Dominica. Until another time, Prince Wadix, may God bless you.